Hello everyone, this is Linica with the Enchanted Acres Homestead. Today I want to show you a stretch of our fence that we've put up. This is mostly a temporary fence. These are 3/8 inch fiberglass rods that we have in. They come in white, yellow, and pink. White is cheaper. They just didn't have enough for me, so I went with the ever so slightly more expensive pink ones. Because I absolutely hate the color yellow. On it we have so far 5 strands of high tensile wire and 1 electric tape. We do have clips on the bottom to do another wire if necessary. The spacing of these wires when in the ground properly is as follows. This bottom one that does not have a wire on it at the moment, because we do not need a wire on it at the moment, that's 6 inches off the ground. 6 more inches up. First wire, 6 and 6. So this is 1 foot, 2 foot. Then we have the 3rd foot wire, which is at a foot spacing, because at this height we're starting to worry more about large livestock. This is a 4 foot. So a foot and a foot spacing. And then 1 more foot up is our top wire. So we have a 5 foot tall fence. Now, these fiberglass rods are actually very nice to use and very good. They are, however, pretty much nothing more than glorified spacers, line spacers. So as you can see, this goes up and over a slight hill. And these guys just are not that great for hills. They're really good for like stretches, straight stretches, if at all possible. But when you get to hills, you kind of need a little bit extra. And this is why. This one, and even more so the other one right down here, are prime examples. We actually need to sink in, probably at that one, a wooden post. This one is pretty much not even in the ground. It slides right up and down. It got pulled up because of the tension of the wire. They're not all like that. This one's still perfectly fine. Most of them are still perfectly fine. These poles are 6 feet long. We put them 1 foot in the ground, which makes them 6 feet tall. Up here you'll see where we had a very large sudden dip, and the poles just could not handle it. These clips, they would bend, let the wire out. Even if you had the plastic clips that are like this to hold wire, they would have just been pulled right off the top. The pole that was on top of the hill was being bent severely because they're just fiberglass. So we put in a couple wood posts. Now eventually, this whole fence will be nothing but wood posts, but wood at the moment is extremely expensive. Well, the fence will stay where it is, the wires will stay as they are. We will simply replace the fiberglass rods with wood posts as we can afford it. So this was the top of the up, and then it shoots down. So that one was pulled out of the ground, or the wires were letting go, and this one was bent severely over. So we put a wood and a wood, which grabs the wire, puts it exactly where it needs to be, holds it nice and tight, and then we can go back to our fiberglass rods. Again, we found another space up here where we didn't even realize it was a bit of a divot in the landscape. So we put another post in. So we do need 1 more post, wood post, back behind me. And this actually wraps around this corner and shoots back that way. And we do need another wood post. Even this is... And also, if you don't have ground that actively grabs stuff, like this spot specifically is pretty much all gravel, these poles will be pulled right out under tension. Now, if you have a fence put up and there isn't really any tension in it, these rods are also great. They're super easy to move, super easy to put in. They do have different style clips. I just got these guys because I didn't really understand them too much because there's not a whole lot of information out there on rod clips other than just a basic picture, but the pictures don't even show the rod clips doing their job. So we got these ones because they were super cheap, but they do have ones that are just 2 bunny ears. They don't stick out like this. I have clipped myself on these and scratched myself and bled just a little bit. Really, I don't think the horses are probably going to have to deal with that because they're not going to be anywhere near the electric fence since they don't want to be zapped. Right now I just have it turned off because we've been going up the hill here. So it comes down like this, have our wooden corners, and then goes up to there where we have a gate. There is another spot about midway over there where it kind of looks a little drooped, where we do need to put in another wooden post. So the fiberglass rods are excellent posts for a temporary fence. We have them spaced at 16-foot spacings with, you know, some smaller sections like right here, just because that's how it works out. You got to pick a spot where it's smaller. And we did 16 feet because really your typical fence spacings are more like 8, 10, 15, 20, 25. We chose 16 feet because it's not too big, it's not too small. When we put all wood posts in, it'll be very sturdy. However, if we found out, you know, with a special case horse or a special case cow, that it still was not going to be enough, we could put a post right in the middle, sink one in, put the insulators on, and then my 16-foot spacing just shot down to 8 foot. And you're not going to get much stronger than that. So that's why we went with 16-foot spacing. 5 feet tall, which I feel is a little bit taller than average for most fences. Most fences are probably more like 4, 4.5. I have a draft horse and I plan on having more draft horses, and they're really, really tall, and I don't want them to be tempted at all to try and lean over top of the fence, cause problems, break the fence, get themselves hurt, yada, yada, yada. So 5 feet tall is pretty good. On Elsa, you know, it comes probably about midway up her neck, I would say, which is really a good spot to keep her from even attempting anything shorter. Anything that comes up to about her chest, she'd be very tempted to try to reach her neck over. She's not going to be tempted with a 5 foot tall fence. So, there's my video on our current little fence project that we've been working on over the summer. Our fiberglass rods, kind of why we went with them. You know, they're very cheap, but also very tall. So they were only about $2 a pole. They're more like almost $3 now. Versus like the little step-ins that are only 3 feet tall that you get from Tractor Supply that are like $5, $7 a pole. The only downside is you have to put insulators on them, but it's really not all that difficult. And it's not insulator so much, just something to hold and grab the wire. Anywho, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again. Have a great day, everyone.